Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new series. Emilie here, and today we are starting a brand new educational segment, and it will be focused around the European skincare line Guinot. Joining us in this educational segment will be Clément Barito. He is the official trainer for the Guinot brand in Canada, and I have worked with him for many years, and he has an amazing background in skincare. He actually is a trained esthetician. He has worked for many brands in France as well, and he has been with Guinot for a certain amount of years. So he has a lot of experience in the skincare industry, in the skincare world, and has a lot of knowledge to pass along to you, who will know a little bit more about Guinot in the next few weeks.
In your professional opinion, what are the key elements that really make a European professional line stand out within the industry?
First of all, if I want to answer to your question, I definitely need to give the global view and the definition of what's Guinot.
Mhm.
Because the difference that makes by European cosmetic is definitely in the experience, in the expertise, and in the history. Guinot is a brand which have been founded in 1972. So we talk about a long time, a huge expertise. And because of the strategical and finally the philosophy of the brand since the beginning, which is to work in exclusivity with professionals. And when I talk about professionals, I mention only estheticians.
Yes.
That's the vision that we have Guinot and definitely Sopar, because we are the exclusive distributor for Canada. We think and we have this definition of this industry because we want to provide this product to the people who has the best skills and possibilities to work with that one. So it's an old, in the most positive side, that's an old brand with a huge experience, founded in 1972 by Mr. Jean-Daniel Mondin, who's a man from the pharmaceutical and finally industry and finally scientist. And that's the origin of the creation and the inspiration of the brand. So that's the origin finally.
It's been around for over 40 years. It has made a huge presence in the skincare industry. People that don't even use Guinot know the term Guinot. It's a huge brand, especially in Europe. Could you tell us a little bit more about what's the main event or what's the main discovery that really put Guinot out on the map for people to know about the brand more?
As you know, and as you can imagine, there's a lot of things in Guinot universe, but we cannot talk about Guinot history without beginning with the story of the Longue Vie. Longue Vie, 1986. And what's happening at this moment? There's a lot of science research about skin. And finally, after thousand ingredients that they study and spot, Guinot creates the Longue Vie cream.
Yeah.
The goal of the Longue Vie cream is to be able to rebuild at 100% and at the maximal the skin. And we work with an active, we call it the cell active environment, with 56 ingredients that we choose in thousand ingredients that they spot. So that 56 ingredients are the best to fit and to boost not only the cell activity, but the cell life. It's all about the cell life. And one of the most interesting fact about the creation of this cream, this product, is the clinical test that they did for the history. They did the clinical research and test at the burn unit of the hospital Cochin in Paris. So Think about it. You work with the public in a burn unit. We can definitely talk about big issues on skin. So the skin is burned at first step, second one maybe. So you definitely need to rebuild the fundamental of the skin. And they made wonderful results on their goals when they did this clinical research about it. So that's the beginning of this philosophy. And now we can talk about the Longue Vie, about a lot of products. At the beginning, it was a cream, a day cream,
Yeah.
and now there's a serum, and you can find a long V for the face, has a serum for your hands, for your
Your
feet,
eyes. Yeah.
for the eyes, for
Yeah.
men. So there's a long V for everything.
Yeah.
And in each product of the long V line
Mhm.
that you will find, there will be one common ingredient, which is the 56 ingredients for the cell environment.
Wow, that's an amazing thing to mention. It really shows how much there's science backup behind the brand. And I think it's important to mention because every time that we, the professional, get new products or new treatments to launch, we have a technical dossier that's like thick like this every time with information, statistics, and all this stuff that you send us in order to confirm that it works, right?
Mhm.
And I do know that Guinot has a particular standard as well. So if you could tell us a little bit more about, how Guinot develops new formulation and what's their standard in the, how does it work?
First fact, the Guinot products are all created in a factory in France. So we have the control from A to Z,
Yeah.
finally on the product. That's an interesting fact and very important because, for example, and there are a lot of brands, when you use, for example, hyaluronic acid, you can use it in your product. But what kind of guarantee have we got that you create this ingredient, and from where do you buy, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when you have this control from the beginning to the end on the product, you have the possibility to be more transparent with your consumer finally, and you're totally under control of the quality of the product, of the respect of many rules. So I can mention a lot of things, but there's two pharmaceutical standards that I want to present, to mention, and I talk about pharmaceutical standards. At this moment, we leave the cosmetics. That's the ISO. That's an international pharmaceutical standard.
Yep.
There's a lot with any numbers. The first one is the 22716 from ISO. That's a standard regarding the quality of manufacturing. So they focus, and you can trust me, they look a lot at the way that you're manufacturing your product.
Yep.
I talk about the place, the product, the conditions of work. That's a big package. So we have Guinot has this standard.
Yeah.
The last one that Guinot has actually is the ISO 14001, and it's a standard, an environment standard, pharmaceutical again, about the control of environmental impacts. For me, that's one of the most important today because there's a huge confusion sometimes between natural, organic, vegan. You know what I mean?
Oh God,
that's
yes.
confused sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that kind of pharmaceutical standard
Mhm.
give a huge guarantee to the consumer that there's an impact and there's a positive one.
It's really important to mention, especially today, the consumer is getting smarter and smarter and they want to know the details. So super.
And that's a good sign.
Yeah, it is.
So
Yeah.
yes, there's a technology, there's wonderful results on your skin, but that's not the only one fact that I want to know about it.
Yeah.
What's in there? Where come from this ingredient? You know what I mean?
I think this is a good way to finish the first segment on Guinot because there's a lot of information, and it just really shows that we've been with Sopar and Guinot for, I think, since the beginning. So it really shows you as a professional that we really trust the brand and that we really, it truly does work on our clients and we fully trust it.
Absolutely.
So there you have it, the first episode on the European skincare line Guinot. Now, the following few episodes will be coming up in the next few weeks for you to learn a little bit more on the brand. If you have any comments, any questions, anything you want to ask, put them in the comments because I will make sure to answer your questions in the upcoming video series. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and don't forget to share if you enjoyed the content.